Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and this video is going to be kind of a twofer. Going to once talk about the obviously sprint rank that just was released a couple days ago, as well as kind of a look at the Akizuki, because I might do a separate video on the Aki that's not in a ranked sprint, because obviously ranked sprint is a little bit different. As you can see, ranked sprint now is tier 8 with the ability of carriers, and yes, I'm in Akizuki with carrier. Akizuki's AA is pretty good. It's quite scary. Has a good range, good DPS. Obviously, if a carrier still wants to hit you, it can. But at least you can actually shoot down some planes. So this ranked sprint obviously allows you the ability to div up with a member of your clan or whoever you so choose. I am divved up with Skee-Ball in the Mogami, which is not a bad ship to play. He's running the 155s, as probably many people are aware. I actually like the Mogami with its meme build. So we are playing on Greece, which is more of the newer maps. I always forget this is actually a map that you can play on random. Don't see it all too often. So, pushing towards the A cap, the only downside of ranked sprint, it does really help having a div mate. Ooh, that was super close. Is the fact that you're teamed up with members who you can't really trust, to say the very least. So it's kind of double-edged sword. You really can't rely on them. This map, or this match, had several members that were quite positive they could really, hold their own. So I do push into A, smoke up, and begin pew-pewing. Akizuki's fire rate is super fantastic. I do run the IFHE. This is actually my special captain on this ship. I believe I'm running the anime captain because why not? Because I have so many captains. So he does have IFHE. He's not quite there yet to get the survivability expert, and my phone is going off. I do apologize. So not fully as much as I would like him to be. I would love him to actually have the survivability expert, but without it, you have 20,040 or 400 points of health. Akizuki obviously is a split branch. It does have very fast firing gun, but only has 100mm caliber size shells, which without the benefit of IFHE can only pen armor up to about 25mm. With IFHE you can get about 32mm, which really is beneficial. Highly recommend it. It does have torpedoes. The torpedoes only go out to 10 kilometers, so, and you only have one with 4 torpedoes in each set. You do have the reload booster, which is nice, but really the torpedoes are not the main point of the Akizuki, but they can definitely help. Harikaze, don't exactly know what he's doing. I think he is looking at that Bismarck. Comes around the corner. I was expecting him to try to rush me, but no, he gets his torpedoes off and then collides into the island. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit behind the island. I keep shooting the island, but fortunately get able to reverse and get my back guns off. This Harikaze's dead. There's nothing he can do. Doesn't look like he's smoke as far as I can tell. Do get A. Right now, our team, I really don't know what he's doing. Our team is kind of in an awkward position. The only member that is really defending B is Skee-Ball versus 4 battleships. And he's actually doing really well on his own, all considering. But as you can see, we've just lost our Bismarck. So we're down a battleship. We still have our North Carolina, Vladivostok, who's almost dead, about half health, and our Richelieu. So things are a little dicey right now, to say the very least. Now, what's really amusing is the carrier is not going after me at all. Granted, I have shot down 9 planes, but even then, he knows where I am. He's still not going after me. Fortunately, we finally take out the Bismarck, but I really don't know what happens next, because I know when I was playing this battle, got to this point, I was like, good, we're 2 ships ahead, we're 2 caps ahead, things are looking nice for us. Enemy battleships are pushing up towards B with the Key and the Alabama, and there you go, we've just lost our Richelieu to the Vanguard. Now, as far as what ships... As far as what DDs, it really comes down to your playstyle. One DD, or actually a couple DDs, I wouldn't overly recommend, is the Fantastique, or its counterpart, the Le Terrible, that's what I'm trying to say, the Asasio, and the Kagero. Main reason, especially with the French DDs, is you're going to see carriers. And I've seen matches where carriers just absolutely wreck a French destroyer, because French destroyers are fast. They're able to get into a position where they don't have a lot of support, and a lot of players don't really, I guess, think ahead. So they get focused down by the carrier, and then they're easy picking for everyone to shoot at them. So yeah, kind of trade-off. Key, do have to be a little bit careful. Key actually has torpedoes, and they are 10 kilometers, but Key also has horrible torpedo protection. Goes down to our torpedo, 2 of our torpedoes. We just lost another ship. Our Vladivostok went down to the Hipper. All that's left is Ski, myself, the North Carolina, and the Lexington, and Ski, I believe, is getting very close to death right now. Alabama extraordinarily low in health, and there are those torpedoes, and do pop engine boost. Now, the Akizuki, I know, kind of jumping around. Akizuki's not a very fast destroyer. 33.7 knots, I think, with the speed flag is the fastest as it can go. With the speed boost, it can get up around 37 knots. So, not a very fast destroyer. That's really the downside of it. Now, we've just lost our Mogami. And the enemy team still has their Hipper, their Alabama, and their Vanguard. So things are a little dicey, because they do manage to capture B, which does allow them to start gaining points, obviously, a little bit more quicker. Trying to use the smokescreen as much as possible, because obviously, well, if we can get a fire, we can definitely do a little bit more damage as quick and effectively as possible. But obviously our smoke is now down. Don't really want to open up, because things are a little bit precarious. Hipper does open up on our North Carolina, which I'm actually very curious. North Carolina is about 3/4 health, so it has a little bit of health to it. Unfortunately, carrier is now coming in our direction. Once again, the carrier does nothing towards me. Nothing at all. Is focusing down the battleships, which... granted, it's not a bad choice, because he can always find me later. I guess that's what his thought is. But Akizuki, tier 8 destroyers have a clear advantage over a lot of the cruisers, and that was experienced during clan battles, just because their DPM that they can pump out, their lower detectability, and their torpedoes. So DDs have kind of an advantage over a lot of the cruisers, because a lot of cruisers have, a few cruisers have radar, but they're very short range, or they're very short duration. They don't have a high DPM. They don't have a heal. So a lot of things are kind of against it at this moment. North Carolina does take out the Hipper, but leaves himself open to both the Alabama and the Vanguard, which the Vanguard is now starting to turn in. Do drop torpedoes, because I was expecting him to push kind of south towards that North Carolina, but unfortunately for us, that North Carolina is not really not providing much resistance, I guess you could say, to the Vanguard. So going back to kind of the destroyers, at least as far as playing in the game, Asasio and Kagero against other destroyers, and for the most part, the meta is heavy destroyers and heavy battleships. And yes, granted, the Asasio wreaks havoc on battleships. Against other destroyers, its only advantage is its low detectability. Unfortunately, we don't get a torpedo hit, which kind of sucks because that would have been nice, which means I do have to wait a complete minute for the reload on the torpedoes, and it can only get one salvo off. Now, do have to be really careful with the Akizuki. Once again, not a very fast destroyer, so a battleship can quite easily turn into you. Its detectability is decent, 6.1 for a tier 8. Many other destroyers are either a little bit higher, 6.4, 6.6, or obviously a little bit lower at 5.9, 5.4, and 5.5. So it's kind of in the middle, which works to its advantage, but also works to its disadvantage as well. So you do have to be careful of that. As far as cruisers, I haven't done that many battles with cruisers. Mogamis, Japanese are very popular. Radar cruisers such as the Baltimore, Chapayev, but they're very, very squishy. As far as battleships, it's been pretty much a Russian battleship zone. A lot of Vladivostoks, a lot of Lenins, with a few Tirpitz and Bismarck mixed into it. So I do drop a torpedo salvo on the Vanguard, and right now things are a little dicey. It's just me and the Lexington versus the Vanguard and the Alabama, and obviously the Shikaku. Now, I did drop those torpedoes, but I dropped it when he was not going very fast. So I do open up, hoping that he would obviously slow up and turn in. And it does look like it's actually going to work to my advantage. My torpedoes are going to at least hit. Do get a flooding. Fire is on the Vanguard. Have to focus them down. We have to get points. Obviously, now the carrier is coming after us, which is no real surprise there. But do take out the enemy Vanguard. Am gonna eat this hit, which definitely does suck. And one thing you really got to be careful when playing destroyers is with battleships, you don't always want to rep immediately. But right now, I really need to get to the B cap. I need to stop their points. I need to switch it over. I still have a smoke. It is my last smoke. That is the reason why you don't always want to use your repair party, because now that fire is going to stick. My engine is still knocked out, so things are a little dicey, but we should be able to get in cap here in just a moment, as long as no other fighters or rocket planes come in, and there they are. Now, obviously, with the engine out, we're not able to slow up as quickly as I would have liked. I should have actually turned off my AA. Should have kept quiet as long as possible. Unfortunately, Shikaku is going to at least get a hit, and I think right there, yes, chunks us down to 3,832. Fire goes out. Still have the repair party. I'm actually keeping it on standby. I don't need to repair the engine. It's going to be repaired right there. And this is where I kind of picked this video, because obviously it's very, very close. But high props to the carrier. High props to the carrier. Does drop a fighter down on us, which should keep us safe for at least a minute while we cap. Now, obviously, once the smoke goes down, it will mean that I do have to be extraordinarily careful. Now, Alabama, I don't really understand the reason why he decided to turn back around towards B. Obviously, I guess he's hoping to at least catch out myself. Now, I do ask the carrier to keep fighters over me, keep me protected as long as possible, to ensure that I survive, because obviously I don't have a lot of health. Shikaku brings in armor-piercing bombers. Granted, they don't do a lot of damage, but with the fact that I'm extraordinarily low on health, even that little bit of damage can kill us. So right now I need to get away. Do you know at least the Alabama is pushing this way? Once again, I don't exactly know why this Alabama is doing this. but do turn off AA. This is most important. I've seen so many destroyers just keep their AA on, especially if they're long range AA and their detectability is a lot smaller. Now, I do have to be careful. The fighter planes are at least protecting me. So do have to be careful with that. Now, if I was to CV on the enemy team and it required me to focus down the DD, and there's still about 4 minutes left in this battle, I would chance the drop on the DD, even if there's fighters. At the very least, spot the destroyer. But surprisingly, no, he does not. And once again, high props to this Lexington. Drops another fighter squadron. Obviously, it tells where I am. Any smart individual can see where I am right now. So, but once again, the enemy Shikaku doesn't do anything. He could have at least spotted me, allowed the Alabama to shoot at me, maybe kill me, and obviously switch the battle to their favor. Now, torpedoes are inbound, and that is actually going to be about it, because with this torpedo hit is going to switch the points back into our favor and mean a victory. So high props to the Lexington captain. There we go, high caliber right there. And in about 6 seconds we win. Shikaku can't do anything, and that is a victory. And we'll have to say, I really do like the Akizuki, and not, like I said, I could show a battle not in ranked to show off the Akizuki, because obviously ranked is a little bit different than random. Similar, but different. But that's going to be it for this video and a look at the Akizuki. If you guys want me to show off another video with the Akizuki, I actually have a really good game with the Aki. Just let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Side Gen.